Yeah, so good day and I hope everybody's fine. Anyway, today what I'm gonna talk about. Well, see my topic is this regular kind of stupid. Because ah now how should I say this thing? I mean, why some grown folks have to be like that, you know? It's something I always say. Most people grow, some of them even get old, and they're underdeveloped basically, and as a result of the underdevelopment I will call them retarded. Okay. And recently I had the misfortune to watch an elderly person, you know, behave in a very retarded manner. Well, based on his track history, he always retarded, basically saying things, anything that jump in his mouth or in his mind, he just bring it out to public. You know, he has basically no privacy. Anyway, I'm talking about the mighty Donald, right? Okay, so recently, you know, they had this summit and stuff like that. You know, the great guys in the world, basically. And I watched a video of that guy. I mean, basically, what should I say? Surrender his country to the so-called enemy. You know, he just groveled. You know, why this guy is like that? You know, this guy embarrassed his own country, and he had been doing that from day one, from since the moment he made that decision to run for the presidency in America. He had been embarrassing his country. Anyway, funny, it doesn't surprise me because long before this guy become president, but I'm talking about when he decided he will run for president, and then they pick him, you know, they choose him as the person who will be running for the presidency in their party, right? Okay, so when that happened, you know, I was a little bit curious as to what would happen, you know, what would turn out in this thing. Okay, at that time I should say that I wasn't too much onto him, you know, because I could remember he is the same guy who was talking about Obama's birth certificate and stuff like that. So, you know, I at that time look at him as just a guy that just ranting and raving and stuff like that, you know. You know, rich people when they have a lot of money and they doesn't have anything to do, because most of these people minds are very, well, what I should say, very idle in itself. Anyway, so I didn't bother with him too much and then, you know. But then after he decided, well, he will run for the presidency. And I said to myself, based on his ranting and his ravings, you know, he only running for the presidency because he feel a black person could be president. That means he could be that too, right? But then listening to what he used to be saying, what he was talking about, as a matter of fact, the very first time I heard him spoke, I told a friend of mine, I said, look, you see this fella? This fella is an embarrassment, and he would embarrass his country. You understand? He would embarrass his people. He would. Well, it seems as though I could call myself a prophet, but I am not. But the point is, it's easy, right? It's easy to see the trend. You understand? Certain things usually take. As a matter of fact, I never thought that he would change when he become president. As a matter of fact, he was showing his true colors, and that was his true colors during the campaign. Okay, And that was him. That's the way he functioned. That's his character. That is him. And I always said that if he get into the presidency, then obviously it will be worse, because under pressure, he will be under pressure. He have to make decisions, not like sitting down in his office and signing a check for people to make money for him. He will have to make decisions for himself. So that means he would be under pressure, and he would be looking for outlets. And the outlets he looking for is to hurt people's feelings and get them like a jamming, right? And we all know that under pressure, everything usually magnifies, right? We also know that pressure does bust car tire. We also know that too. So I always look at this guy as a guy that would embarrass America. But let me say something again, that before this guy get involved in politics, I guess as much everybody on the face of the on the face of the earth who had a radio or television or whatever it is knew about this guy. They knew that that is Donald Trump. He have tour, he have plane, and he's a girl's man and stuff like that. Like, everybody basically knew him. And I guess as much everybody, a lot of people idolize him as a very successful man. He's this bungul or whatever you want to call it. You have all this money, and people basically aspiring to be like that man, all Donald Trump and everything. So during that time, that is before you get involved in politics and other people's business and stuff like that. During that time, you find that he was just the person people don't hate, people don't like. People just see him as basically maybe a great person, a person that they get the impression worked from scratch, and then he got rich, so people basically idolize him. You understand? They did. You see, he was one of the icons of the world in relation to riches and stuff, and that is a fact. People used to think about, hey, I want to be like Donald Trump, I want to have money like Donald Trump and stuff like that. You understand? But then you see, the beauty about it is that the most I know. You understand? The most I know. And what is happening with this guy right now, everybody should take that as a lesson. You understand? As a lesson. What I realize is that most of the time, you find you have people, right, who get themselves in power, they have a lot of money. People idolize them, and we know idolizing anything or anybody is wrong. We're not supposed to do that. But people usually idolize this person. But the Most High know the heart of the person. So the Most High always comes around and shows the true colors of something. Everything, that the road that are crooked will be made straight. I don't know if you understand how the Most High does function. Right? The Most High do it with a lot of even preachers, like guys like Jimmy Swaggart and Jim Bakker and those people. People used to idolize those people. You understand? People used to idolize those people. Right? A lot of people you never expect used to be doing certain things in the dark, but then it comes out. Somehow it comes out. This guy is the same thing with him. You understand? The Most High bring it out for us to see. You understand? And you look at how he behaving, and you're wondering, what kind of human being will say things that this guy is saying? What kind of stupid is this? Somebody being president and they act like if they never went to school. You understand what I'm saying? They act like like nobody taught them anything, because they don't listen to anybody. Now, that is what the Most High is showing us. Also, what the Most High is showing us most and foremost is this: that most people, you see people running around with a lot of money and a lot of wealth. You understand? That doesn't mean that person is wise. That doesn't mean that person have a good character. You can't idolize people like that, or anybody for that matter. You see? Not because they have wealth. They don't better than you. You understand? How much reasoning you think a guy like Donald Trump could do with an ordinary poor guy in town? No, he can't. He can't sit down and reason as a human being. Because he's basically a fool. So he's basically what you call a fool with a lot of money. So even a fool, when he have a lot of money, you understand, does appear to other people as wise. Having a lot of money doesn't mean that you're wise. And if people going around with that delusion that you are wise, and the Most High the Most High obviously sees and knows that, then what would happen? He will show you. You understand? He will definitely show you who that person truly are. Because all crooked ways will be made straight. So you wouldn't have a doubt as to what is actually happening. So you see this guy went in Russia in this summit and embarrassed his whole nation. I said when he became president, I was surprised. You understand? Serious, I was surprised. I said to myself that if the people in America actually put in Donald Trump as president, that will tell me something. People could have all the education in the world and think they're smart, and they are very stupid in ways relating to life. And that's the truth. And I wanted to be wrong, but then it turned out I was right. So then when that happened, I say, okay, look at how this man act with his own people. I say, when they'll start to feel it? When he start to interfere with foreign people. Because he don't have no boundary. I know that from day one. You understand? He is not seeing anything but right by his nose here. That is where he is watching. You understand? He is the man that worship his money and his wealth for so long that he get caught up in this foolishness right here. So what he is sitting on, not a strength or the power of good character or great personality. You understand? In the back of his mind, his foundation is his wealth. Nothing else. Because he has as a matter of fact, he talks like somebody who never went to school. Not even first grade. You understand? Honestly. Right? So I can't understand what kind of stupid is this. I can understand why they would put you understand, in power. Make him feel, well, he's president. That is the worst thing that happened. But you see, in everything people do, I always believe that the Most High will it. The Most High Elohim who wills it. And therein you will find your lesson. So people, it doesn't matter how much money somebody has. It doesn't matter how much cars, how much wealth, how much houses, how much towers, whatever. They are not better than you. You understand? Because if you don't have wisdom and you don't have understanding, as a matter of fact, you have no love, because love will breed understanding and wisdom. You don't have love in your heart, it doesn't have compassion for people. If you doesn't have those attributes, you are nothing. Absolutely nothing. You are nothing, and you has nothing. You understand? So this is the lesson. You see? All the time he was in his corner, we didn't know. You understand? We didn't know he was that foolish. We used to be looking at him like in terms of his wealth. He have a lot of wealth. People respect that, because most people respect material things. So the more material things you have, basically people have a tendency to respect it. They make the world that way. But it's not supposed to be like that. So what is happening is that people look at him in relation to his wealth and his achievements and stuff like that. You know, so we, who knows, might have been even telling ourselves that he's a very wise person to be so rich and to be so everything. But look at it. You see, the whole idea of that man's life was about power. And his means of power was about money. You understand? His means of power, that is how he feels powerful, is money and wealth and stuff like that. Now, he has power, real power. You see, that is real power. In relation to the world's power, this is power. And this, he has all the money, so he don't even need the money that they pay in a president. Now, the power have to comes out from your character, your personality. That is the power you have to exercise, and he doesn't has that. You see, he doesn't everything he do is an embarrassment. So there goes lessons for you people. There goes lessons for you. You understand? Money can't change your personality. Money can make you a better personality. Money don't give you happiness. Money don't give you accomplishment. Because it doesn't matter how long that guy stay in the presidency seat, he would never feel accomplished. He might only fool himself and tell himself that, but he would not feel accomplished. You understand? Because he's not a humble person. Right? So the Most High show him to us to teach us a lesson. This guy is a fool with a lot of money, and he just brandishing a different form of stupid. As a matter of fact, the Holy Scripture said, right, that when the wicked are in power, the people moan it. Enough said. Look around what is happening. Everybody. See you in another video. Peace.